Hello to you all, and welcome to Pyramid Energy. It's been a very long time since I've laid out cards or shuffled and really not known what to do with them. And so I understand this as being part of the energy. I'm definitely sensing you in this very airy space in limbo, not sure how to feel. And with this comes sort of like a susceptibility to sort of having your feelings drawn into whatever you're thinking about. Okay? And so if there's something that you very much appreciate, you may feel a bit emotional about it. If there is something that's been looping in your mind, annoying you, maybe that annoyance can sort of run away with you. If there is something you want to change, you might be wondering what to change. And so I put away the cards and I started visualizing your chakras. The first thing I saw was actually a baby in a cradle. And then this baby started smiling at me and I was wondering like, why is the baby not crying? And which makes you think, perhaps you expect a baby to cry all the time, but they don't always cry all the time. Sometimes they're just smiling and googling at you with their cute eyes, and their, smile. And so this made me consider how, what would you do if your baby is just happy? Like, what do? You can't sleep because the baby's awake. And there's no baby to rock necessarily because baby's happy. So why mess with the baby? And this baby for me represents, something that's just been born and something fresh and something that does require care, but not in this moment. And it's very much speaking to me about a new beginning. It could be a craft, whatever it is, because this baby's, I want to call it a manger, not in the sense of baby Jesus, but it's just that shape of that basket was there. And yes, I see it now. It was actually the kind of sort of manger. If what is a manger anyway? That thing that has no legs and it's just a basket with no handle, that Moses drifted along the river in, the one he was found in in the bulrushes, that type of one. And as I consider this, I realize that this represents a form of freedom that is now right in front of you, but that does not need your attention right away. I then retreated into, I'm sorry this is so long-winded, but this is how the energy feels. It feels like it's taking long to figure out what you need to change, what you want to do, all that type of stuff. So I visualized your chakras, and when I started in the heart and I saw a ruby, very shiny ruby, and it made me think of the Philosopher's Stone. Okay, it made me feel like, isn't this supposed to be green? And the redness, for some reason, was bringing up the need to stop and acknowledge and celebrate your achievements. Okay, and the red taking me not so much to the green of the Philosopher's Stone. I know it's sometimes depicted in red and sometimes in green. I'm aware of that. But the red sort of also emphasizes that this color red represents healing. And the fact that it's formed into this stone represents the journey that you've walked. Okay? And the red also being in the heart was representing for me this attraction sort of state that you're in. And it's talking about what you are bringing in. Okay? Then I moved into the solar plexus and I saw a caterpillar. And, all of its furry or spiky, whatever it's got on its body. But that represents sort of the idea that part of showing up, which is solar plexus energy, part of, building up your confidence, all of that, and clearing things away is a transformation that's taking place right now. That's asking for you to be okay with the idea of retreating because you are going through a major transformation. You're attracting this transformation. It's coming with other things behind it. But the fact that you don't know what to do in this moment, you're full aware that something is on its way. But they're actually saying, rest. And that was my first instinct when I thought about this baby. What do you do with a baby when it's fine? And I'm thinking, such a new baby, you probably should sleep. But you can't sleep when the baby's awake. But they're saying to rest. Almost like find something else to do. There's information that you're going to be receiving. And so to rest. However counterintuitive it feels, you're more likely to run into some form of frustration if you keep pushing. Okay? When I got to your sacral chakra, I saw the baby again in this basket thing. I saw the baby again. And so that's what's being born. And so as much as it's in your sacral chakra, in that center of creation, this is something that is going to be presented to you, is something that already exists. It's already in the world. Okay? But there's nothing to be done with it right now in this moment. And so even where feelings of duty or running out of time, I saw nothing about time. I saw nothing about time. The idea of the breeze and feeling the breeze against your skin and just breathing, that was coming up quite a lot. Okay? And so at this point in time, the baby sort of in the manger is being born, but it is not needing anything from you at this point. The fact that the baby is already like a baby in your sacral chakra shows me that this thing already exists. Okay? It is what is coming in. Okay? And then when I got to your base chakra, I saw something like of a mesh, like a grid, a steel sort of metal grid. Okay? Which was giving me a sense of like where you find yourself at a point in time, sort of the space-time idea, and also a sense of safety. It was definitely giving me safety, as in you cannot fall through this. And I've seen this image before along the chakras. I've seen it before, and it's almost like you can stand on this grid at this point in time and you're not going to fall through. And then what I saw is sort of a liquid being dropped with a dropper onto this grid. Okay? And essentially whatever substance is underneath the grid, the thing that you fear falling through but that you cannot fall through, that is receiving that ointment. This ointment is a form of medicine. It's a form of, it's some kind of an antidote, and it's going to bring healing to something. It's going to repair something. So this is already happening, and it's happening while you are safe exactly where you are. And so far I'm seeing that this rest is not going to damage anything. It's not going to put you at any risk. This is a healing time. This is a healing time. You need the ointment to do its job. You need to trust that this thing already exists and that it's bringing something new into your space. You need to trust that you are going through a transformation, and a caterpillar cannot become a butterfly if it does not actually go into its cocoon. I don't see this as a long drawn out sort of hermit cocoon thing. This is just to allow this process that's currently taking place to take place without concern or worry that you're dropping any ball, just so that you can stop, feel the breeze, do something else, and not force matters right now. Okay? And then I'm going to jump back up further than your heart to your throat chakra, where I saw cylinders. Okay, cylinders. I suppose cylinders can store stuff, but these were empty. And they were showing like, they looked like sort of air pipes, and air was flowing through them freely. Okay, and so there's no blockage there. I'm not seeing a blockage there, but there's also nothing to pass through it but air. Okay, but air. And so this is actually telling me that this is a time for you to allow your thoughts to pass through, because I actually remember when I was looking through these cylinders, I was also looking to the left, to the right. I saw the ruby, and then I saw your third eye, and in your third eye I saw a cloud. And so what your third eye is currently feeding you is, there's a sense that you can't quite see clearly what's there, but new ideas are forming in these clouds. And I definitely see this idea of pausing in order to sort of allow yourself to feel what makes you happy, what doesn't make you happy, what makes you feel warm, what doesn't make you actually connect with how you feel about various things. And so this is definitely a time for feeling. And feeling cannot happen when you're very busy being busy. Because if you were to, and take this as it resonates, because this is, if you're listening now and this resonates, you'll know, and please don't force it if it doesn't, because the last thing I want is for someone who's doing just fine to stop what they're doing. So just, if you're doing just fine, then carry on with what you're doing, please. But essentially, if you are not sure how you're feeling and things are not really going the way they usually go, in particular today, okay, where you feel like you're sort of fumbling around, they're saying this is a time to feel. And then when I got to your crown, I laughed a bit because I saw a monkey. And this sort of just confirmed this entire reading, because monkeys love to play. They love to play, they love to mess around. And so I'm seeing someone who feels like their mind is messing with them. When actually, their mind would like for them to play, okay? It's not playing tricks on you, it's just wanting to play. It wants to take it easy. It wants you to remember this inner child, to do something else. It's come in to distract you from normal activities. Okay? So that's sort of where this is clarity for someone. And as much as I'm sharing it like this, and I actually don't know how I'm coming across, to be honest, I really don't know how I'm coming across. To me, I sound very, I feel like I'm just feeling around in the dark, trying to make sense of a whole lot of these ideas. I'm not short of like ideas, but I'm not quite seeing how they all link together. And as much as these words have come out of my mouth, it's not forming in a way that I feel I can work with, if you know what I mean. And this is very much a part of the energy. Okay? And something else is, as I was just processing before I decided to look into the chakras this way, it almost made me stop everything and just put it all away and not move through it, through the reading. But as a reader, I'm aware that I'm feeling this way because this is the energy. Okay? And to bypass this container won't help me. But the message that I'm sharing with you here is that to bypass this process won't help the situation. It's as if it wants to be named and acknowledged so that its purpose can be fulfilled, so that you can move on from it. And so what's happening right now is sort of a up and down, left and right, this way, that way, not knowing, like you start something, you don't finish it, you not sure, and you don't want to start breeding these feelings of doubt. And another thing, and I know that in yesterday's reading, one of the two that I shared yesterday, what came up is, this filtering through the writing exercise of figuring out what it is you like about this and that. If you remember yesterday's reading, if you heard it, if not, it should pop up at the end of this video. But this can be another challenge where you hear that you need to sort through your thoughts, and then you sit down to write down your thoughts and they're not really coming. And so what they're saying is, just let it be. let it be. That over-focusing creates a tension. Okay? You know, it's interesting because the word attention is paying attention, you know that word. But sometimes as soon as you pay attention, it can result in a tension between sort of allowing stuff to flow through and needing it to come through. And so if you do something else, you're more likely to win in this regard. Okay? This next part that's coming up is talking about sort of an avoidance. There's an avoidance of something. It's got to do with some of the things that you're considering. Okay? There is a way that you do something that you're considering changing. You haven't quite got clear on how you want to change these things or this thing, but you have already pinpointed the aspects that are asking for a shift. Part of the block in terms of figuring out how to change them, and not in terms of what tools to use, how to change them. They're talking really around how you should execute. And they're saying that how to execute can come only after you've acknowledged that you either need to change this thing, you need to decide if you're going to change this thing or not. They're telling me that there's a tendency of you receiving information on how to change this thing, and then you sort of half-ass it, and then you don't sort of follow through on it. And so they want you to become clear first on what needs to change, the reason. Okay, the reason that this thing needs to shift. And then after that, you can then start weighing up ideas you receive on how to shift that. But they first want you to get clear on deciding, do you want to change this or not? It's definitely got to do with taking action on something, tweaking something, adjusting something. There's something you want to change, and the reason that you're kind of wishy-washy around changing it has to do with the outside world, how it will be received. Okay, wherever you're changing this thing, how that change will be received, and sort of not in direct terms. It's sort of showing me the impression it may create. It's showing me something like that. And so first they want you to acknowledge the need, because the need is yours. The need is not anyone else's. The need is yours. And so this is definitely taking me to acknowledging your own need first. Becoming clear on your need. After that, you can start to receive sort of solutions or instructions on how to address that need. And not to try to bypass deciding on this change. Because right now, you're sort of weighing up the ways to change it against, should I change it? And so these things are not meeting. These lines are not meeting, because what sits in the middle is this need to confirm that you need this to change. Okay, so there's like step 1, step 2, step 3, and you're trying to skip step 2 because you don't want to just take what you want. What I heard was, I just want to take what I want from this world. It's like, it sounds so wrong, right? I'm saying that's how it lands. As you say those words, this is what I want from the world. And they're saying to remind you that this is your world. Whose world is it if it's not yours? Are you not of this world? Are you not one with this world? And they're almost bringing this together to help you, okay, to remember that you are one with this world and what your heart wants. And it's taking me back to that ruby in your heart and the need to heal this thing before this thing actually comes in that you're attracting. Okay, so you're attracting something, and your heart is reminding you that you're healing, and you're healing that part of you that doesn't want to cause wounding, doesn't want to incur any wounding, and they're saying, number one, you've earned this attractive ability, and look at what you've achieved so far in your healing. And so they're saying that what you want, in a sense, is what the world wants. These two things are one. And so let's heal this part of you that bleeds, is actually how I'm hearing this. This part of you that bleeds when you consider doing something for yourself. Doing something for yourself. Why does it hurt so much to do something for yourself? So much that you cannot see that this is something the world wants as well. The world needs this as well. Why does it hurt so much to give yourself something that you need? That's something to sit with. That's something to sit with. And I'm taken back to this baby in this cradle manger that I don't know actually what it's called. And whether it's Moses or Jesus or just some innocent baby, there is a healing that this baby represents. There is a freedom that this baby represents. Okay? And it's got to do with the world. It's not just about you. And I'm not saying you're being selfish at all. I'm just saying where you see yourself taking something, you're not actually just taking. There's another side of taking, which is a giving. And I'm reminded that, I think it says in the holy text that it is in giving that we receive. But this is a reciprocal process. It's not only one way. In order for others to receive, you need to give. In order for you to receive, others give. Okay, so you're not taking. This is not just about taking. And I very much feel this is something you need to sort of sit with for yourself and really lean into this idea of why it is so painful. This idea of receiving, actually, because as much as we were calling it taking something for yourself, the challenge here is the one of receiving. And the more that you nurture this cycle, this momentum of giving and receiving, the more the idea can expand. And it starts with one. Sending you so much love.